My business currently sits at about $650,000 in annual sales, and I want to share with you today how I got to this point. Now, I understand that you want commercial cleaning leads fast. At one point, that was the same thing that I wanted to know, was how to get commercial cleaning leads fast, because the truth is I was working at a 9 to 5 that I absolutely hated. It was a bank job. I felt like it was just so mundane. I was doing the same thing day in and day out. Anything that my manager asked of me, I did. And, even after all the time I spent there, it just felt like I was going nowhere. So, in my mind, what was the idea? Well, I'm going to start a commercial cleaning company. And if I can get leads fast, I can get out of this 9 to 5 even quicker. Now, that's not a bad mentality, but the truth is, after being in this industry for almost a decade, I can tell you right now that is not quite the mentality you want to have coming into this. So, I'm going to share with you exactly what that mentality is, okay? Because that mentality is going to be a big part in getting these commercial cleaning leads quickly. And then I'm also going to share with you a second part of this that's absolutely going to help explode your growth. And the beautiful thing that I'm about to share with you today is that it all comes from personal experience from somebody who started this business with absolutely none. I had no really expertise in website development. I was a very scared and quiet individual. I didn't like, putting myself in awkward situations. I had no idea how to develop websites, how to run a business. So guess what? If I can do it, you can do it. So back to the mentality part, right? So you want leads fast, and that's not really quite what you're after. The real truth is you don't want to just get a bunch of leads fast, because the truth is if you get a bunch of leads fast, they're probably going to be garbage. They're probably not going to create the kind of life that you're thinking you want with this business, the kind of life that gives you time and freedom, the kind of life that allows you to maybe buy a nice car, take your family on vacations, allows you to be outside of your business, not stuck inside of it and making it just another permanent job. That's not what you want. So what I'm saying about that is, and this is the perfect example, and this is how everybody usually starts off in this industry, this is how actually my thought process was. If I was to give you 50 bow and arrows, and I was to tell you you're going to be stranded out in the woods for you have no idea how long, what are you going to do? Are you going to go shoot for the small little tiny bunnies and the rabbits and the birds? Or are you going to go after the giant scary bear? Most people are going to go after the rabbits and the birds because that is what's easy. That's not as scary as the big account, the big facility, the big bad bear. And here's what I'm going to tell you right now. You do not want to fear the big bad bear. Now, maybe if it's a mall that's over 100,000 square feet, yes, maybe you should have no business going after that in the beginning. But if it's a facility that's about 30 to 50,000 square feet, you should go for it. Because the truth is it's going to be probably worth anywhere from $6,000 to potentially $9,000 a month in revenue, depending on where you're at. And the truth is that kind of size of a building, you can do it. You know why I know you can do it? Because I did it. I got it when I was barely just getting started. I was terrified. I had no idea how I was going to do it, but I accepted it because I wanted it and I wanted to move my business faster. And I rounded up a bunch of friends, threw them some t-shirts with my logo on it, and we got to work. And somehow we figured it out. And over time, we got the right equipment and chemical and, figured out how many people really needed to be there. And I got it to the point where truthfully, I could do the facility by myself in literally only 2.5, 3 hours and still do a good job and not get complaints. So I can tell you right now, the bear is not as scary. Now, back to the small offices, everybody wants to go at those, and there's not a problem with going at those, but here's where the issue comes from, is that everybody wants to put these small offices at, $200, $300 because they just want to get them. They just want to get as many accounts as quickly as possible. And then they end up having a huge headache, a huge mess with tons of little accounts, people complaining, things not getting done. It's absolutely a mess. It's miserable. The truth is, these small accounts should be very profitable. I'm talking, you're making off these accounts $700 to maybe $1,000. Once again, depending on where you're at, they're about 5,000 square feet. They got about 10 to 15 people who work there. But they should be great. They should be, when you get them, an awesome account that maybe only takes you 30 minutes to clean, 25 minutes, and you're making great money. So There's not that small accounts are bad, you know. You should definitely take small accounts, but make sure they make sense. And don't be afraid of big accounts either. You'll get them done. Like I said, keep within that range. Now, that's one of the first things here that you need to realize is that's one of the biggest things that ruins this industry and this type of business for people is that they get so desperate that they'll take anything they can. They'll take small accounts, they'll do them for like 200, $300. And you got to think to yourself, like, is $200 to $300 worth the chance? Like, you're taking those keys and maybe somebody breaks in or somebody forgets to do the job or you forget it or something for $200? Come on, you're trying to run a business here. Run a business. And then, back to that scenario, right? Like, we all know we have limited resources. The two resources in business are time and money, right? So let's just say you do 50 cold calls in one small business. Great, you get one for $800. It's profitable. That's great. However, if you would have done 50 cold calls, in these big facilities to 30 to 50,000 square feet, you get one for $6,000 a monthly recurring revenue. Look what you did. Look what you did with that limited ammo, that limited amount of resources that you had. You could either take those 50 arrows, those 50 cold calls and go for big buildings and really you get one, you really move the needle, or you can go for the smaller buildings and you kind of move the needle a little bit. You take your pick. My suggestion is, nothing wrong with either one, but if you're going to do the small, make sure it makes sense. It should be making a lot of money for you. It should be very profitable, And if it's a bigger one, don't be afraid of it. Go after it. It'll be worth it. I promise from my own experience. Now, with that being said, we're talking about time and money, which are the two biggest resources in your business. Either A, you can put the time in yourself and get things done. It can take a little bit longer, or you can pay someone else to do it who has maybe the expertise. It's up to you. And what I'm trying to say is the next step is building a website, okay? Because the deal is, when I first started out, not with this business, but a different business with a partner, we decided we were going to build our website on our own. Wasn't a bad idea, worked out pretty well. We created a reasonable website, didn't cost us much money at all. We learned a new skill, which is great. And surprisingly, it might not have been the most beautiful website, but guess what? It was decently optimized and it worked. It landed us some pretty decent sized clientele. Some clientele it put us in front of, that were impressive, very big accounts that would have really moved the needle, but we just didn't have the sales skills to get it done. So, everything's on YouTube. You can find a tutorial. That's what we did. And we were able to create a website that worked pretty well. Now, if you don't want to do that and you have some money, then it's time to go out and hire a web designer to figure this out for you. Now, the easy way to find a web designer who's good, it's simple. You're going to look at reviews. You're going to type in web designer. You're going to see, maybe type in a couple different keywords. You're going to see who pops up at the top because that tells me they know what they're doing. You're going to look at their website. Does it look professional? Does it look like they know what they're doing? Is their sales copy good? Their word copy? And then you're going to make your decision. Now, don't let your website designer completely do all of the word copy, all of the sales copy on your website, because the truth is they think of things from an optimization standpoint. You need to know what your customers' pains are, their problems are, and you need to make sure that you are addressing some of those on your website, because that is what's going to make you stand out between everybody else. I'm telling you right now, if you were to go on Google and you were to look at a couple different cleaning companies in your area, I bet you on the first page, they all basically almost say the same thing. They are the best cleaning company in the area. Guess what? When everybody says that, no one cares. It's not speaking to them, your customer, in any way. You need to figure out what it is your customer actually wants and speak to them and show them and tell them how you get that done for them. That is going to set you apart from your competition, and that is going to blow your business up. Now, when it comes to optimization, there are some easy things to do. Number one, having commercial cleaning in your name, your actual legal business name, is huge. It helps tremendously with your ranking. It helps, obviously, Google match people who are searching that up to you because you are within pretty much the exact phrase that they're typing in. Obviously, 5-star reviews, filling out your Google business listing completely and to the fullest, adding photos, being active. Those are some basic things that are really going to set your business out and are going to get you the kind of leads you want. Now, this is the reason why I'm so big on the website first, more than anything else, is because the website's huge. Because even if you were to go out and cold call right now, The truth is, they are going to look at your website, and your website is a big thing to be able to help you set you up as a professional who really knows what they're doing. So it's important that you make that website and that you make sure it's good. And trust me, don't strive for perfection. Obviously, perfection can come over time, working at it a little bit every day. But the truth is, you just want to take action. You want to put some effort into it. People can tell when effort is put into something, and get that website out there. And soon enough, you're going to have a business that's actually running pretty well. You're not going to get hundreds of leads every day, and guess what? No one does. But the truth is, it's not what you want. You want accounts that make sense, that you don't hate cleaning, that are easy, that you could do in your sleep, and you make good money off of. That's how you build a big business. You don't build a big business by taking every freaking willy-nilly account, super cheap. All you do at that point is create a giant headache that makes you miserable. Okay? So those are the first two things. Pretty much focus on those. And I'm telling you right now, your business will move pretty quick. Have a good one.